The pharmacist who shot a man trying to rob him this weekend, did he have the right to shoot?
And the Mad Minute, how students are helping the less fortunate. Those stories and more are coming up now on your station.
From the capital of Wyoming, this is News Channel 5, news at 5:30.
An attempted robbery over the weekend. Good evening, I'm Anthony Keith.
And I'm Amanda Turner. Thanks for joining us. It was an attempted robbery that did not work out for the would-be robber. The man walked into Medicap Pharmacy off of Dell Range on Saturday morning when he pulled a gun and demanded pharmaceutical drugs. The pharmacist then pulled out his own gun and shot him.
News Channel 5's Catherine Spencer has been on this story all weekend and joins us from in front of the pharmacy now with an update.
Tony, that would-be robber was injured and treated at CRMC. Now today I spoke to Cheyenne police about what charges, if any, the pharmacist would face. When Medicap Pharmacy opened on Saturday morning, the staff thought it would be a normal day.
We all three kind of made the remark that it was going to be a slow Saturday.
But things quickly changed when a man came in.
The door opened and I looked, as I got to my computer, I looked up and I saw this person come in the pharmacy with a gun drawn.
The suspect was armed with what appeared to be a firearm.
And demanded drugs. However, things quickly changed for that man.
And about that time I'd heard a gunshot, so I just dropped to the floor.
Jackson Quick, a pharmacist at Medcap Pharmacy, shot Nathan Munt, who was allegedly robbing the pharmacy.
A Medicap employee who didn't want to be identified says the whole situation shook her up.
When you're looking at a barrel of a gun, that's all you see is a gun, you know.
And since the pharmacist acted in self-defense,
The Cheyenne Police Department is not recommending any charges against Quick.
but we were wondering if the pharmacist acted within his rights to shoot the suspect. Police say yes, but with a warning.
Of course, we always advocate that you do some sort of training with a firearm if you choose to carry.
So a situation that could have been a lot worse ended well for the employees of the small pharmacy.
Thankfully, we're all safe and none of us were hurt.
Now, another twist to this story. This isn't the first time Munt has been shot. He was shot in August when he told police he was the victim of an attempted car theft. And also, Amanda, that gun that he pulled on Saturday turned out to be a fake. Reporting live in Cheyenne, I'm Catherine Spencer for CBS News Channel 5.
All right, thanks, Katie. Well, as of this afternoon, Munt is still being treated at CRMC for his wounds. Witnesses say pharmacist Jackson Quick is a hero because right after he shot the suspect, he then helped to treat the wounds that he'd inflicted, while police and ambulances were still on the way. That is just such an unbelievable story.
Oh,
so many
wow.
twists and turns in that one.
So many people saw the, I guess there were officers out there with weapons and they were scared of what it was, but I'm glad that today we're reporting both people are alive. And that's because of his reaction and his getting in touch with the...
Quick thinking and training with that firearm.
Love seeing it. But on a completely different topic, the weather, another gorgeous day out there today, right?
I say it almost every week now. It seems like Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates must be getting bored, all those 50s in the forecast.
We'll send it out to him now.
Hey, all right, thanks Amanda and Anthony. A pretty decent day today. Temperatures once again well above average and a comfortable night tonight out here on the Amco Monarchy weather deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at where our high temperatures were across the region this afternoon, mostly in the 50s, but those in Torrington and Scottsbluff were held back a few degrees, only into the mid to upper 40s. And currently, temperatures in the 40s and 30s across the tri-state region. It is now at the freezing mark in Scottsbluff, 38 degrees in Laramie, 45 in Fort Collins, and right here in Cheyenne sitting at 44. Not a whole lot going on. We're just dealing with some mid and high level clouds, and we'll continue to deal with those tonight and at least through tomorrow morning before skies eventually clear on out. But the weather pattern is not changing a whole lot, which means more mild weather expected this evening with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover through early tomorrow morning. Low temperatures, by the way, will be hovering right around the lower 30s through much of tonight. Now, what kind of weather can we expect for the rest of the week? I'll have that forecast and much more coming up in just a few minutes.
Standing in Cheyenne for more than half a century, the Safeway downtown is coming down. Demolition started today to the tune of about $180,000. Those funds coming out of the $259 million approved earlier this year for the Capitol Square project. That covers the work on the Capitol, Hirschler Building, and the surrounding area. Now, once it's demolished, the Pioneer Avenue site will become a landscape parking area temporarily for construction, long-term for the Hirschler Building.
The Capitol is really exciting. It's needed improvement for many years, and the state is doing it right. We're addressing all the issues. We're watching the budget and getting it complete correctly.
The demolition should be finished by the end of the month. In the meantime, Tomes Avenue is closed between 25th and 26th Streets. Well, you may have seen the smoke just north of town earlier this afternoon. Laramie County Fire District 1, Warren Rescue, and the Wyoming Guard responded to what looked like an oil fire. In fact, there was no fire. It was just a plume of smoke coming from some fracking going on in that area.
Cheyenne City Council meets tonight to talk about a few different topics, including the Children's Museum and the possible trash fee increase. Councilman Sean Allen and Dickie Shaner are fighting to keep the sanitation money in the sanitation fund rather than a good chunk of it going to the general fund. Last week, the Finance Committee voted against it, but Allen and Shaner are hoping the attitude against it changes tonight.
We're funding sanitation, we're saving the taxpayers $4.5 million, and we're setting a policy that we're only going to charge our constituents what it costs to provide them that service.
We'll, of course, have an update on all this shakes out tonight at 10. Our Toys for Tots drive was a huge success, and it's all thanks to all of you.
Last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we teamed up with Spradley Bar and the U.S. Marine Corps once again to help less fortunate kids this holiday season. From bikes to stuffed animals and so much more, the community gave big. The Toys for Tots campaign tripled their take from last year, collecting 63 boxes of toys and 71 bikes. And some of you even gave a bit of green, donating more than $2,500 in cash. Well, the Capitol Christmas tree is up at the State House, and now so are the wreaths. The Wreaths Across America ceremony was held in the Capitol Rotunda this morning, honoring the season and Wyoming's veterans. Governor Matt Mead took part in the ceremony, which is just one event in a week-long celebration that honors active servicemen and women, veterans, and those who lost their lives in the line of duty. Governor Mead says it's never a bad time to honor those who served in the military.
It's time, especially during the holiday season, to remember the sacrifices of the men and women who are serving and to give thanks to them and to keep them in our prayers.
National Wreaths Across America Day is this Saturday, December 13th.
All right, well, what better Christmas decoration than a big shiny golden apple? Don't forget your nominations for our Golden Apple Award. We've received so many great ones already, honoring local teachers who make a huge impact in young lives and their educations. If you know a teacher in our community that deserves to be recognized for their extraordinary work educating our youth, we want to know about them. Just email your nomination of a teacher K through 12 to news@kgwn.tv.
The proposal to double your cost to get into Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks is seeing resistance. The town of Jackson, fishing guides, and wildlife safari companies are among those against the plan. The National Park Service wants to raise the $25 7-day pass that's currently good for both parks to $50. And on top of that, they want to get rid of the annual pass that's good for both parks. Opponents say that would price people out of public lands, and guides say they'd have to increase the prices they charge to clients to make it up for the increase.
Students at Pine Bluffs Junior and Senior High School are getting together to help out those in need this holiday season. They're doing it in a pretty cool way.
That's right. News Channel 5's Bill Rentschler shares their story of generosity this holiday season.
We see lots of fundraisers and charity events during the holiday season, but what sets the kids at Pine Bluffs apart is that it's students helping other students. It's called the Mad Minute.
We each bring money to school, and in the classrooms we have competitions to see who can collect the most, and all of that money goes to the less fortunate kids.
It's pretty simple. Kids just put as much money as they have in a bag and only have a minute to do it.
In the first 2 days we raised over $500, which was really amazing that kids just in a minute can do that.
It started on December 2nd, and through December 8th they have raised $1,600. but are still looking for a bit more to make sure everyone gets a gift on Christmas.
We get as many presents as we can for each kid. That's why we need more money. Our list is a lot bigger this year, unfortunately.
And it's the students at Pine Bluffs who will be getting those gifts, bought and paid for by the students from Pine Bluffs.
The kids are helping other kids, and we get to see the impact on Christmas.
They're also learning an important lesson.
When you help others, it does make you feel better and it helps yourself a little bit. And I think the kids are really starting to grab a hold of that idea that it's not all about them all the time.
The kids seem to be getting the message.
The kids getting together and helping each other out is what really motivates us. Just being able to go out and give to all those kids, just to see a smile on their faces is all it means to me.
This is the second year of the Mad Minute fundraiser. Their goal is to collect $2,500. The last day is Monday, but they'll continue to collect private donations through the end of this week.
Thanks, Bill. The students at Pine Bluffs aren't just collecting money for Christmas gifts, but they're also collecting food to give out for Christmas dinners. Coming up, can't believe this, more 50s in the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates tells us how much longer this December heat wave will continue.
Plus, later on, we've got to look at those stricter guidelines for racial profiling from law enforcement. Don't go away.
Time now for your exclusive forecast.
Thank you for sticking with us after another beautiful day. Now a beautiful night here in the capital city as we look out towards the Capitol building from the Terrell Doyle Skycam. Let's take a look at just how pleasant it was. Our high temperature today coming in well above the average of 52 degrees and more mild weather heading our way. 27, the low temperature this morning. Tonight will be just a little milder. Right now 44 degrees, a few clouds out there, no big deal. A south to southwesterly wind blowing lightly at 7 miles per hour, and temperatures mainly in the 30s, though here in Cheyenne we're still 44, 37 in Torrington, the freezing mark in Scottsbluff and now in Kimball, and temperatures in the 40s and 30s down into northern Colorado. But again, very quiet weather. Nothing more than a few mid and high level clouds continue to pass from west to east across the area, and that's really limiting any type of active weather that we're going to see all week long. We are picking up a little bit of snow up near Green Bay and across part of the rest of now moving towards the main part of Michigan. And then back to the west here, we have another storm system moving into the northwest and affecting those in Seattle and parts of Oregon. However, it's going to continue to bypass the area. The main reason, the jet stream is continuing to send all this moisture northward and is keeping that cold, well, December-like air well to our north and east. Instead, we are stuck under a nice firm ridge that is bringing us mild temperatures. And over the next week, this pattern is not going to change a whole lot. So the colder weather is going to stay to our north and east of the region, and that means all the rain and snow will do the same. Although by Saturday, I think our mountains will once again get a nice dose of, well, a couple of feet of snow in some areas. But for us, not looking too optimistic here for any snowfall anytime soon. So here's our future cast. It's a pretty quiet night. We will see some mid and high level clouds drifting overhead. We'll go with partly cloudy skies and temperatures not horribly cold for this time of year, mainly in the 30s and 20s. Colder out east where they'll be further away from the mountains, so temperatures around 25 in Scottsbluff, 30 here in Cheyenne, and 20 down in Greeley, 24 in Fort Collins. For tomorrow, I think we're going to see a little bit more cloud cover than this, especially in the morning, but by mid to late afternoon, those clouds clear out, the sun will come out, so clearing skies for tomorrow. But look at these high temperatures, right back into the mid to upper 50s. Not very December-like at all. Torrington, 57 degrees. Cheyenne, 54. Scottsbluff, Gering, 57. Could be seeing a few locations flirting with those lower 60s. And down in northern Colorado, temperatures in the 50s. Even the foothills really enjoying some beautiful weather with high temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So Cheyenne tonight, a few passing clouds, but a beautiful one. Temperatures around 30 degrees. For tomorrow, we'll see a bit of cloud cover in the morning with clearing skies in mid to late afternoon. Look for a high temperature of 54. That extended forecast, well, not a whole lot going on in the next 3 days. In fact, through the rest of the work week, it is looking good. And Cheyenne could see a high temperature of 60 degrees, so near record highs coming our way on Friday. Things do change a little bit on Saturday. We do have a cold front that'll push through, and that's going to bring us more of a breeze, and we could get maybe a passing snow shower on Sunday, but chances are slim at this point. But it should drop high temperatures down into the 30s and 40s heading into early next week. And those in Scottsbluff, wow, just absolutely gorgeous, 50s and 60s all week long. A little cooler towards the end of the weekend with maybe a spit of snow on Sunday afternoon.
Wow, from 60s to snow over the weekend, just like that.
Just like that.
Only in Wyoming.
Yeah.
All right, well, News 5 Sports is taking us behind the scenes yet again. Tonight we're meeting a member of the LCCC equestrian team.
That's right. It's a sport not everyone fully understands, but it's exciting and it comes with tremendous responsibilities, guys. One member of the team came across an ocean to join one of the top programs in the country. That story is next in sports.
News Channel 5 Sports.
Hey, welcome back. The winter sports season ramps up this week. Players will, for the first time, put what they've learned in practice so far to the test against other teams.
Prep Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Cheyenne Regional Medical Group.
Before the horses and
to go get like 2 more horses. We just need Ike and Socks out. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait.
School's top volleyball player Sophie Seeley this week signed to continue her career at Eastern Wyoming College, and in addition is raising eyebrows of her coaching staff for Central basketball in a good way. New head coach Curtis Martindale expects Seeley to be an important part of the Lady Indians' success this year for a great fall campaign and expectations for continued success on the winter hardwood. Sophie Seeley is the Prep Athlete of the Week. Well, moving is never easy, especially when it requires travel across an ocean. As Jesse Horn discovered for one LCCC student, the move is not about a job, but instead about following a passion.
before the horses and riders get here,
we need to go get like 2 more horses. We just need Ike and Socks out. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait. They're all like in the other class.
they all go through her. Tess Braslow, a native of Paris, France, is the paddock master for LCCC's equestrian team.
I always was interested in horses, and in France we don't have any horse programs after high school, and I was looking for some 2-year program school. If we make her walk, maybe we'll get even.
Her search eventually found her coming to Cheyenne.
And I visited a lot of schools, and this one was the best.
The role of paddock master for the Golden Eagles is a demanding one.
For now we have all the reiners.
They kind of oversee all the horses that are going in, if they're in the correct tack, when they need to be in the class. So she oversees all the horses and everything going on.
For Tess, running the paddock for LCCC seems to come second nature to her. But there was one adjustment that she did have to make in her transition from Paris, France to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And that's with American food.
It's not as healthy, and it's like, and also school food is never that good. So it was a big change for me, but now I'm used to it.
American cuisine aside, the job keeps the French transplant very active.
It is a lot of work, but I like it a lot.
But Braslow is thankful she is now in the U.S., and especially Cheyenne.
Oh yeah, that was one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm really happy about it.
Jesse Horn, News Channel 5.
LCCC's equestrian team will be back in competition January 31st at an event hosted by the University of Colorado down in Fort Lupton. We've got plenty more coming up after the break.
Breaking news. Call the news tip line at 888-248-6397.
Welcome back. A key announcement today from the Department of Justice about racial profiling. The Attorney General is defending revised guidelines for federal law enforcement that ban profiling based on race, along with several other factors.
But as Craig Boswell explains, some civil liberties groups say that these revised rules still don't go far enough.
New guidelines from the Justice Department ban federal law enforcement from profiling not just on the basis of race and ethnicity, but also religion, gender, national origin, sexual orientation, and gender identity.
We are most effective when we don't do things on the basis of stereotypes.
Officers are allowed to consider race if it applies to a specific suspect description. The policy also has exemptions for Homeland Security work on the border and TSA agents screening passengers at airports.
The guidance leaves a loophole for FBI racial mapping of mostly Arab and minority communities.
The guidelines apply to law enforcement within the Justice Department, meaning the FBI, DEA, ATF. State and local officers participating in federal task forces must also follow the rules, but local police departments are not bound by the guidelines.
Nationwide protests over the deaths of Michael Brown and Eric Garner at the hands of white officers have brought the issue of race and law enforcement to the forefront.
Ferguson prompted the release of the guidance, but the guidance doesn't stop the Fergusons from happening.
Attorney General Eric Holder wants these new federal standards to be a model local law enforcement can follow. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
The revised policy requires new training, data collecting, and accountability measures. And now here's a look at today's Market Watch.
Line at 888-248-6397. Here's tonight's CBS Primetime lineup.
All right, tonight a few passing clouds, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. For tomorrow, another beautiful day, some clouds early with clearing skies in the afternoon. High temperatures in the 50s and 40s.
Well, thank you, Chris. And thank you for watching. We'll see you tonight at 10.